Hello, this is Frank Skinner. Look, I'm going back on the road again. I know, with my show, Showbiz. I've finished the London thing, and I just want to go back to the places that we didn't do on the national tour, and places that sold out like super quick. Witnesses, that's what I'm after. Anyway, look, if you fancy coming to see me, I thought I'd let you know that there's a now, I've never typed in one of these in my life, but I'm going to do it for you. There's an address. It's www.absoluteradio.co.uk/tickets. It's like one of those proper things. And if you type that in, you'll see where I'm playing and when and all the possible details you could need. I'd love to see you. And who knows, you might even like to see me.
This is Frank Skinner. This is
Absolute Radio.
This is Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio with Emily Dean, and Gareth Richards is with us this morning. Gareth Richards is like the William Hartnell of this show. He was the first
still alive.
The first manifestation for me.
Oh, yes.
Your teeth
For
aren't that
me,
bad.
so is William Hartnell.
Oh.
Although he might not be the first Doctor after tomorrow night's episode. We'll find out.
Oh.
You can text the show on 81215, follow the show on Twitter and Instagram at Frank on the Radio, or you can email the show via the Absolute Radio website. Why don't you try that one for a change? Free?
Nice to have Gareth here.
Yes, it is. Hello,
Lovely
Gareth.
to be here. Of course, in the Five Doctors, they got a different actor, didn't they?
Yeah, they got Richard Herndl.
Yeah,
Played the
it was
first.
weird they found someone with a similar name.
Herndl.
William Hartnell,
Oh, yeah,
Richard
you know what?
Herndl.
I've never thought of that before.
Do you know what?
And then, of course, David Bradley is now playing him.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Bored, Em? Bored?
So glad you're here, Gareth.
Yeah, because I was watching Harry Potter this week with my son, who's gone completely pottery about it.
Well, it's in
yeah.
the family with you. That's good.
Ah, yes.
Frank's brother-in-law is Jack Thorne.
Oh, yes,
just
of course.
To remind you.
That's right.
Yes.
Who wrote?
Yes. The Cursed Child.
Very good.
Okay, it's out. The news is out. Anyway, David Bradley plays Squelch, Bilch, Gulch. The bloke with the cat.
Oh, Filch.
Is it Filch?
Yes.
And
said-
The caretaker.
but having to
Hogwarts
explain the Doctor Who connection when he's the first. He wasn't actually the first Doctor. He played the first Doctor originally in a sort of a drama about the mate. I mean, it's too much for a 7-year-old. In the
Well,
end, I
Frank-
just I let it go.
I feel for my parents having to look at Doctor Who when we were children. So is that the man who was so drunk he couldn't get up from the sofa last weekend?
Yeah. Oh, so I would have killed for that. You don't know what you got, you people. You don't know what you've got till it's gone. Everybody, pay paradise, put up a pocket. Yep. Something like that.
On a very similar vein, because we went to the Harry Potter exhibition at the Warner Brothers, and there was a weird moment where
Like the
Who's
Warner Brothers.
me and my family,
Okay.
because
Also-
we're also Harry Potter fans.
I like the Warner Brothers.
The Warner Brothers, the Warner Brothers Studios. I'm not sure what the name is because it's like the Harry Potter Warner Brothers Studio. It's a very long name.
I'll tell you what, I saw a coach, like a boss, the other day, and on on the front.
Great story.
I'm finished. I'm
Oh,
finished.
right, good.
That's the part. That's the
There's more
cliffhanger.
coming.
Metal bird in the sky.
And you know when it says on the front things like Peckham and stuff, it's
No.
and then it says
South
Harry.
of the river, darling.
Okay.
It says Harry Potter event, so it was an actual coach. It wasn't like that narrow ghosty boss.
No, not
thing.
the night bus.
Was
But,
it like a Harry Potter stag? Did they do a stag do?
Well, it was
Bit sleazy.
it was picking up at King's Cross Station.
Oh, here we go.
So I wonder if
Platform 9 3/4.
yeah, I wonder if it was a whole Harry Potter. Picking up at King's Cross is sort of part of the thing. Anyway, carry
But
on.
yes,
Well, it used to mean something else in my day, picking up
Yeah,
at King's
that's
Cross.
all changed.
It's online now.
It's all
all
changed.
online.
Yeah, God, that was the Chamber of Secrets.
And there was a weird moment in Dumbledore's office.
Oh,
you can
yeah.
go around the set of Dumbledore's office.
Should we leave it
where-
there? Come on. There's a weird moment in
Is that the
Dumbledore.
Chamber of Secrets as well?
Where there was a 7-year-old boy explaining, because of course the first Dumbledore died, so there was a different Dumbledore for the third movie, which is a bit bleak, isn't it?
Was this a
Because it's
punter,
when
a child?
Richard Harris played the first Dumbledore.
It's good that they learn
And
all
then,
that, though. You
yeah,
know,
but
it's cheaper than
harsh.
buying them a guinea pig.
It's true.
Yeah.
Frank Skinner on
Absolute Radio.
So I went to a wedding last weekend
Oh,
at Lancing College, which is not a medieval boot camp or about boil drainage. It's do you know? Have you heard of Lancing
no,
College?
I haven't.
It's a very sort of it's a public school. It's a very. I once drove from Brighton to Worthing, and this thing appears on the horizon like a Gothic spaceship has landed. There's nothing around it. You know, you ever driven past Jodrell Bank? I remember that scaring the hell
And
out of
other
me.
things I'm not usually asked on a Saturday morning.
Well, it's a tremendous experience. You're driving along and suddenly
Have you been inside a Turkish prison?
there's a fabulous alien invasion thing going on.
So the wedding.
So it was in the chapel at Lancing College, which apparently they wanted to film Harry Potter there, and the bursar said he didn't want the school to be connected with witches and broomsticks and all that
Quite right.
stuff. Yeah.
It's a devil's work.
Much better.
So consequently, they
Leave it with-
still have quite a lot of fundraisers, making up for the money that they would have made out of being the Harry Potters. But it's an incredible looking. Obviously, I don't know what. I'm guessing it's a good school, but the chapel. I actually
Could
read.
have been even better if they'd taken that money.
Oh man, can you imagine it? I would have. I did a reading at the wedding. I read. I read from Paul's letter to the Colossians,
Oh, yes.
which begins. You are the people of God was the first bit. So I got up and I just looked at them and said, you are the people. There was some edginess amongst them. I think they thought I'd gone off script.
Did one of them stand up and say, no, I am the people of the Colossians? I would have done that. I'm a Spartacus.
Yes, I get
Yes.
the reference. I don't.
But
know
you
if
look
I
a bit
don't-
annoyed that I
I don't
made
think
it.
it quite works.
Okay.
I mean, I'm happy to
I like
workshop
it. I
it.
like it.
That's
Let's
fine.
run with it.
I'm happy to workshop it off air.
Okay.
We can always put. It's not live, is it? Live. Oh. Anyway, so it was pretty amazing. And then they had a choir, and a man got up,
Oh, yes.
and he sang "Oh Happy Days." You know that one?
Right.
Oh happy days.
Yes.
Now that I must have told you that whenever I get money out of a cash point, I always sing. It's like like I can't help myself. I always sing "Got Cash in Pocket" by the Pretenders.
Do you ever sing Got Brass in Pocket?
Yes,
I
that.
just don't think it quite works, the cash in pocket.
Okay. Well,
It's heated in here, listeners.
it's better. It's better
Let's
than
see
you
how
are the
this
people of
turns
the
out.
Colossians. Anyway, so
This tension's going to be running throughout the whole of this podcast, if you're listening to the podcast, or show if you're listening
you know what?
live.
We normally get on really well. What do you make of that, Gareth?
Uh-oh.
So,
I'm triangulating.
I want. Oh God, I thought it was the drains. So, oh God, I forgot what I was talking about now. Oh yeah. So now,
Oh, happy day.
Oh,
Yes,
happy days.
yes.
One of my things.
Oh,
one
yeah.
of my song things. But I don't sing. Have you ever had balsamic glaze?
Yes.
Whenever I have that, I always sing balsamic glaze, balsamic glaze, balsamic glaze, balsamic glaze. And then I do quite an odd thing when I say, I'm quite partial. Yes, I'm partial. And then balsamic glaze. So it was very difficult, a man singing it in a church
Yeah,
and me not being able to sing balsamic glaze. Honestly, I felt so restrained. It was You know that time I was arrested at the station in Leicester? Oh, it's a long time ago.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
Balsamic Glaze. If there's any of our readers who sing an accompanying song to any of the activities they do in life, that we can talk about on air at least, do let us know. I'd like to, maybe we could put together a sort of compilation tape of to accompany people on various activities. Do you guys have any sing-along moments?
I do. I have a lot of dog-based ones.
Oh, yeah?
Because I like to do it to my dog. I like to encourage him. I like him to think, because they really respond to tone, I've discovered, dogs.
What, you mean they don't understand the language?
No, they understand tone.
Oh, yes, I thought it was that.
It's like quite straightforward people. Do you know what I mean? You use tone rather than language because they understand that more. You say, no.
Right.
Yes, good boy. So I have certain songs I sing to him, which I feel somewhat embarrassed to admit. I might sing Randy Newman's "You've Got a Friend in Me."
Oh, yeah. But for what purpose?
No, and then
but
walking the dog. You know that everybody's doing it. Everybody's walking the dog. I have sung that to him.
But do you do those as a communication to
I'm worried
him?
I'm going to get critiqued now, and I got it wrong.
No.
Do I do it as a communication? Yes, because it's to spur him on and encourage him.
Yeah, you've got a friend in me. That's a nice montage moment.
Exactly.
Just have to self-edit the montage. Do
But
a
as
lot
you
of
say,
bonding.
you could
Sweet.
just go
I could.
because he doesn't need the word.
Yeah, you don't need the words.
It's a bit. Was it Lisa Gerard from Dead Can't Dance? Was that who used to just sometimes not bother with actual words and just invent her own language?
Oh.
You could try that.
Okay.
Just a thought. So anyway,
I've got a lot of Pokemon-based ones.
Oh,
As
yeah.
I play Pokemon cards now. I won't go into it too much, but there's certain cards you play in Pokemon, and there's one called Acerola, and I sing My Sharona for that.
Oh, that's
So
good.
it's a card what did it used to? Yeah, you could pick up a whole Pokemon with everything attached to it.
I've started singing that. For the,
Acerola.
can you not? It's a
Sorry.
bit too like the virus.
That's right.
So let's leave it.
And also,
Yeah. Oh yes, the chapel.
Yes.
Now
Oh,
it was
yes.
There's a lot of amazingly carved wood in there. Now I know a lot of our readers I know from past communication like to whittle,
right.
and if you're a whittler, it just goes to show you how far you can take that.
Yeah.
With have you ever whittled, Gareth?
I think I've flirted with whittling, but I've never it's never to any success.
I was on holiday in Montana, and a lot of the actual proper cowboys, they whittle as a matter of course.
Really?
If there's going to be a slight delay, they just get a bit of wood and a knife out, and off we go. But you see, the trouble is, if you're outside like that, and it's sort of, prairie land, it's all right with the wood.
Yeah, exactly.
The problem is if you're at home,
Inside, it's a lot of mess to clear up.
yeah,
isn't
you're
it?
watching a drama on the telly and you're whittling. It's like chewing tobacco is the same thing.
Yeah.
It's where do you spit?
Yeah.
8, 12, 15. A group of us once had chewing tobacco in a pub, and we all spat into a small half glass, and it was had terrible like a spittoon. We created a spittoon in the middle of the table.
Was that when you were hanging out with Lee Marvin and John Wayne?
It was. I don't know who I was hanging out with, to be honest. But it was. Anyway, the wedding. Now this was a first for me. I've been to a few weddings. Not
And a
as many.
first for them, we should say.
Yeah.
Because you can't take that on trust these days.
No, but it was also a baptism.
Oh, lovely.
So I'd never been to a double one because it was all, it was very
was
much.
there a baby?
There was a baby.
A 2 for 1, I love it.
Yeah, it was a very much, well, while we're here. It's had that feel to
While
it.
we're at the altar.
For the people getting married, their baby.
Yeah.
Oh.
So they got married.
It's fine.
Yeah, so it was all part of the same ceremony. They got married and then the baptism
that's
happened.
nice.
So when they came down the aisle,
Was the baby
they're holding the baby. It's quite,
for the wedding?
It's quite an amazing image.
In the bridal dress holding the baby.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, I must say it was a big success. At first, I thought I was completely affronted by the whole concept.
No, I love it. You could incorporate the baby into the dress, I'm thinking.
Well, he had a
papoose.
baptismal gown on, so there was a sort of sense of continuity.
I think that's one of my favourite things, the child's baptismal gown. The sort
God.
of, or
I've
the
still
excess.
got bosses. It's like a white, silky thing.
I love it.
You're wearing it now, I see.
Yeah, it won't fit me. It's like if Casper the Friendly Ghost went to a premiere. It's the kind of thing he'd wear. Lovely.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
So we're at
yes.
the wedding.
Yes, I tell you, there was.
Bride's got the child, which I love,
I
FYI.
tell you, I made a bit of a discovery at the wedding. Have you ever had Scotch egg with a blob of mustard in the middle of it?
In a canapé form or...
In a canapé form. Oh, man, the mustard makes such a difference.
Oh.
What a fool I've been. I've never tried it. It was fantastic. I just say that. But the
Sounds
great
good.
joy for me, of course, the wedding was a joyous occasion. But who am I sharing a table with at the evening do?
Who?
One of the great left-handed England batsmen of all time, I would say, David Gower.
Oh, bit of Gower.
Man, I gave him. Oh man, I said to him, "Look, I'm not going to talk to you about cricket." Then I just talked to him about cricket for about 2 hours. I just
Probably
couldn't
for the
st-
best.
I couldn't stop. Well, I knew he was a wine connoisseur. So
You see, I think that's very considerate when they sit the celebrities together. It's fair.
Yes.
It's like, look, come on.
and also David Gower. I mean, that's sort of post-celebrity. You know, there's something about sports people.
Well, it's two national treasures, Frank.
Wow.
Some would say they should share them out, but, you know.
But I just, I said, I remember your first delivery in Test cricket. You pulled it for 4, didn't you? And he said, who was the bowler? I didn't know. I said, it was tricky like that. I mean, he pushed me to the limit. But it was that
Has
was...
he still got, Frank, the lovely lustrous curls? He had a lovely curl, a silvery...
He hasn't got the Harpo marks of yesteryear, but he's still a very handsome fellow. He looks like a national
blonde.
hero still. He's got that national hero glow. I think there was a few power cuts. It didn't seem to affect our table. And I think, because we were in a Spiegel tent by this stage in the evening, so that we could Spiegel.
Did you dance?
I didn't actually dance, no, but the family are very Von Trapp. And so, like, the mum and dad got up and said, sang, this could be the start of something big as a duet.
Oh, how lovely.
And then what a swell party. It was like that. Then the bride got up and sang. I mean, it was like a variety evening.
Yes.
But meanwhile, there was a slight hum of me saying, yeah, but what about when the Pakistanis came over here in 1970 and all that? But the wine
David's
connoisseur...
going, I've got to go, Frank. I've got a car waiting.
Exactly. Yeah. Just one more. But there was. I have one wine story basically, and so I gave him that, and that was when my manager and I had been together for 25 years. I bought him. I thought I'll get him a nice bottle of wine. I know nothing about wine, but he loves it. You know what they're like. The rich. And I bought him, I was recommended by this wine person, I bought him a bottle of Chateau Lafite 1961.
Ah.
So I told David
Can
Gower
really
this.
taste the feet.
Yes. And David Gower said to me, well, that is a great... That is a great...
good.
He said 1960... He said, I don't know what... 1961 is the great
is it?
wine year. So I thought, oh, good. And I was telling him that it's the
What's
only
happened
time...
to you boasting about buying wine?
I know, but this
Showing
bottle of wine...
off.
This bottle... It gets worse. This bottle of wine was... it's the only time I've bought someone a present when I've had to tell them how much it costs. Because the wine was 1,500 quid a bottle.
Oh.
And
Gosh.
You don't want someone to drink a 1,500
You don't want
quid.
someone to drink that.
No, but you
No.
don't want them to
Cool.
drink it not knowing
Yeah,
that it's
that's true.
1,500 quid.
No.
You want to
Cooking
know
with it.
that. You want to know it while you're actually swallowing it, that it's 1,500
Imagine
quid.
if they said, "Oh, we've got that party. Oh, you know what? Just grab that wine Frank gave us." I mean, that'd be
we got to launch that ship down by the canal, and they've done that. You want to know. You want to be saying, "Okay, it's 1,500 quid bottle of wine coming out. Here we go." That's what you want.
Frank Skinner.
Absolute Radio.
So I want to run something by you because it includes a moral dilemma.
Oh yeah.
Um,
I just ran one past you in the break. Very good advice as ever. Thank you.
Thank you. We moved. We've been in a flat and we're moving into a house. We moved this week, and the removal men arrived,
I love a removal man.
and they rang the bell, and I went to let them in, and then as I walked away from the living room, my partner Kath went, "Ah!" And I thought, oh, I've got a dilemma here. I said, "You all right?" Which is a stupid question in context. She went, Frank. So I thought, oh, God. So I opened the door and just left it open and went back in. And she'd done on the floor, she was like on all fours, and then she was like leaning on the coffee table in a complete panic. And she said, I can't move.
Oh.
My back. And meanwhile, I'm saying, I just got to let the removal men. And then she fainted.
Oh, gosh.
Because I think the pain was so extreme. So
Well, that gives you a minute, doesn't
no,
it?
well, exactly. It was very no. So then I'm in a panic, and then they come in and they said, what was that? And I said, look, I just my partner is in. She's done her back, and she just fainted.
They think you wanted to move the partner out the flat. She's no use to me now.
Well, they said, yeah, but we need to get, we need to start. And I said, yeah, but this is quite a big thing. Yeah, well, this room, shall we do the... And I said, just go to the movie a minute. So anyway, happily, my personal assistant arrived, which was, thank God for that.
Thank goodness.
And
If only all fairy tales ended that way.
yeah, and the removal men, be fair to them, we had to send for an ambulance. She just couldn't move.
What was wrong?
And her back had just gone. And so these two medics arrived, who I have to say were brilliant. And they managed, we couldn't move her at all. Then she fainted again because of the pain. So it was getting a bit bad.
Gosh.
Anyway, they got her on a stretcher. And then two of the removal man did help carry her down to the ambulance. So I had actually come to move furniture and ended up carrying my girlfriend out to the thing.
Yeah.
And then we had 12 hours at the local hospital that day.
Oh, gosh.
So that was... there was a bit of waiting. Obviously, the NHS is a very glorious institution that we all think is only one place away from heaven, and it's absolutely brilliant, and we love it. It's our NHS, etc., etc., etc.
Yes.
There was a lot of waiting.
However, yes.
I do think in the 2012 Olympic ceremony, it would have been better if they'd have said, ladies and gentlemen, the NHS, and then it'd been like a 2-hour wait.
Yeah.
It would have been more realistic.
Yeah.
But anyway, when they did arrive, they were brilliant.
Now, people say there's nothing worse than moving.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that now?
Well,
Injury. I mean, I think that's probably up there. So you had two of the stressful experiences.
Moving and being in a hospital all day
Yes.
with your partner.
Yeah.
Can we just confirm that Kath is okay?
Well, she walked a bit yesterday, and then she's not. There's more to this because there's a bit where I'm not sure if we did the right thing or not. But I'm going to run that by you because I think you're
Putting
good.
her out of misery.
You're good. Yeah. No, I slept with 3 other women while she was in hospital.
Right.
I did.
so
Moral dilemma.
Well, I'd be the one with a bad back. I mean, that'd have been the truth of it. I say, I'd be the... What are you looking at me like that for?
This is Frank Skinner. This is
Absolute Radio.
This is Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio with Emily Dean, and Gareth Richards is with us.
Good
this
morning.
I know. You can text the show on 81215, follow the show on Twitter and Instagram at Frank on the Radio, or email the show via the Absolute Radio website. I was in the midst of telling you about our Lomba catastrophe.
And we should say that people have got in touch, keen to know that Kath is okay. 189 has got in touch. Morning, Frank and Squad. Jack the gardener from Bromley here. Did the removal men wrap your girlfriend up in those grey blankets before loading her up in the ambulance?
They didn't. There was a very sort of flimsy blanket on the stretcher that came with the...
We should recap in case there's any freshly joining us. The removal men arrived, Frank, and Kath had an incident.
Yeah, so the removal men carried Kath out on the stretcher, or two of them did, which is very decent of them.
And also, sorry, Frank, Ian Angle.
They've just chipped the corner off her. That's the problem. It's on the way out. Ian Angle, yes.
Ian Angle 740. Frank, do you believe in fainting now? I'm pretty sure you were a previous sceptic. I hope she's okay now.
Well, you know what they're like, Ian.
Michael Parkinson interview in 1972.
It was bad. It was pretty bad. She had to have an MRI scan. Now, if you've never had an MRI scan, there's a lot of radioactivity involved, and you're sitting like an enormous donut, or you lie in it, as she couldn't sit or stand, and it's. I mean, I wouldn't mind an album of the MRI scanners sounds, because it sort of goes, there's a bit of and I thought, we listen to stuff like this at home.
I remember that full song.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's very Marquis Smith.
But anyway, she had to take all the metal off her, and all they
Did you have to put the headphones on?
Oh yeah, and they ask you if you've got any metal in you and stuff like that. You know, cheek.
None of your beeswax.
Cheek.
But I'd like some.
Yeah. So
That's what you say to Metal Mickey.
So she was a bit anxious. Hello, Metal Mickey. He's a lot of fun.
I had a bit of a crush on him. Anyway, it's your
Yeah. Which famous drummer was involved in the production of Metal Mickey?
I love questions like this. Well, I mean...
We'll come back to that, because my
no
partner's
idea
in
what
the
you're talking
MRI
about.
scan.
Ringo Starr or Pete Townsend, I'm going to go.
Pete Townsend, not.
Okay. Was he not
actually
a drummer? Oh,
No.
I do apologise. No, that was the other one who died in the pool.
Brian.
Yeah, Brian.
Anyway,
Yeah.
we'll come back to that.
Cool,
Someone
yeah.
will text it in anyway. So she's a bit claustrophobic of the big donut.
yeah.
I went in with her.
What, in the donut?
Into the radiation.
Oh,
well, not
just
in the
in the
donut,
room.
just stood
No.
in the radiation
Been
room.
Oh,
cramped.
that's nice.
So I had to take all my metal bits off as well, which was, an absolute nuisance.
The piercings?
The whole thing came out. The Prince Albert.
Oh. Like leading an ox around.
I think that's lovely. When Bagpuss has an MRI scan, all his friends have an MRI scan.
Well, it's exactly, yeah.
It's fair enough.
It was, yeah. As we stood in there with the, I was thinking, and tonight is the night when two via the radiation become one.
It's
Like a radiation wedding we had. It was lovely. We should have got Buzz in there as well. It was. So anyway, we went into.
That's very specialist interest.
It is,
what
yeah.
gets you in the mood?
Yeah,
My partner.
we love a bit of radiation. Hey, babe, do you want to go MRI tonight? Oh, yes, Frank. That's what she talks like. Yeah. Yeah, it was... Anyway, then we get to the moral dilemma element. See what you think of this. But I'm gonna. It's going to be on a cliffhanger. Because the producer is not just putting the fez in front of me, but you know that thing she does with when she pinches that fleshy bit just under my armpit.
Yeah.
I hate that.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
He's back. Gareth was in the. He was having a comfort break.
Yeah. He was in the gentleman's convenience, but he has just made it back.
God.
Tremendous work. So anyway, so the doctor at the hospital said, look, you're going to have to stay the night. We don't send people out who are in this much pain. So we're going to have to put you on the general ward. And Kat said, I really don't want to stay. And he said, well, look, you can't walk. And she said, I'm sure I'll be all right. Just give me some. So they gave her some morphine, which didn't seem to work. Anyway, she signed a letter that said, I am discharging myself against medical advice and all that to cover the blow. So we started, me and her Kat's sister, Rachel, had arrived by then, which she'd been there quite a while, thank God. So we started walking her. She just couldn't do it. And then a helpful nurse said, oh, you all right? Do you want a wheelchair? And we thought, ooh. So we put her in the wheelchair and we just took her home. We went out of the hospital.
That's a nice sort of Christmas future for you.
We just set off into the night on this wheelchair. And I wasn't sure if we were supposed to just take it out of the hospital and away like that. But we did take it back after. But we took her all the way home on this wheelchair.
So when
it had a sort of E.T. on the bike feel to it.
Did you have a red hoodie on? What happened when you returned the wheelchair? Was it you on your own in the middle of the night with the empty wheelchair?
Rachel went back with the wheelchair because she said it's a good place to get a cab from the hospital.
Yeah.
So she went back. But I don't know if you're supposed to take them off the premises or not, but it was an emergency.
Yes.
I mean, if we
as long
kept
as you
it,
took it back.
If we'd have kept it, it would have been wrong.
Yeah.
So
there was a bit where it was just outside our house because we couldn't get up the steps. And I think ours is a road where people will put 3 VHSs out, and for people to take away. And I thought, I don't want anyone. If we come out,
VHSs?
yeah, I'd say that as an example because I saw exactly that on a wall yesterday.
Wow.
3 VHSs. So yeah,
antique.
Fly tipping is my worst thing. I don't want your old table from the 80s.
But
Nor did
people
you.
do take it away, don't they?
People
meeting people. Come on, everybody. If you're at home, sing along with me.
So is Kath
Are
okay?
the lucky... Sorry.
Is Kath okay, please?
Well, she is doing a bit of walking and then a bit of lying down and then a bit of walking. So she's better. She's much, much better than she was on.
This escalated dramatically.
Yeah.
Oh.
But it was quite an adventure, and God bless the NHS. That's what I say. And I don't mind, the 208. We gave us a chance to talk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to turn your phone off.
I know we've got to
I didn't turn
go.
the phone off.
I know we have to get, go for not a comfort break, but a small musical break. But just to let you know, Frank, Nigel Reading reading. I unfortunately have regular MRI scans. I really enjoy it. It's like being on drugs in an old gas pipe, wearing your Grand's glasses and listening to The Prodigy at full volume.
Wow. Well, can I be absolutely honest about it? While I was there, I was, I do. I know people don't normally fess up to this sort of thing, but I have a series of sort of daydream things that I do, like being manager of Barcelona and stuff like that. And I was so 1970s Doctor Who, that thing, because just the colour of it, there's a certain sort of medical beige colour, which is so 70s Doctor Who. Just when the Pertwee era, when colour first arrived, and I was slightly loving it, especially with the noises and that. God, I wish I'd had me Sonic.
There was a great moment just then when Frank pointed to me about something to do with the show, and I loved it because he had his headphones. He drives the desk, he had all his buttons, and it was very Thunderbirds.
Very Mike Mansfield. There used to be a programme called, I think, Supersonic, and there was a guy, he was like one of these 70s music producers with hair too long for a man of his age.
White feathery hair.
And he'd say things like, Q Roy Wood's Wizard, and you'd see him point, and he's obviously just pointing for the camera because there's what was he pointing at?
Yeah. And you could tell he had a slightly out of control ego because it was called Mike Mansfield's Cue the Music.
Well, I think Wasn't it called Supersonic? Maybe that's a
No,
different show.
there was a later one called Mike Matt, and he'd say Q level 42.
Yeah, it became like one of those national catchphrases.
Yes.
And, there was a whole... I think then the music business was full of some of the most terrible people on the planet. And they all had hair a
Good
bit too
job
long.
things have changed.
Yeah, they all had hair a bit too long for their age. And
We saw a man like that at the Brits the other night. I'm not going to lie, didn't we, Frank?
We did. We don't know what his name was, thank goodness, or we'd probably say it on air.
We gave him a name, though, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. We thought he looked like a Stuart, yeah. He had that kind of...
I took a photo of his hair.
he's the kind of guy who would say, yeah, well, it ain't going to happen. He's the guy who might say that. But it was good that he was there, because it was like there was a little table from the past.
Well, also, what was great...
And you know what? I love the past. Oh,
Well, when the past times closed, that was the worst day of your life.
I hated past times, actually.
I know you did.
It never felt like the past to me.
No, I don't think some of those relics were real.
No, it felt like QVC the past.
Well, it's because you're a big sort of Saxon fan, and Saxon Times... He likes going to the British Museum, so I just think you saw that as a rival for it. And
Yeah, it used to get me down when it's all made of pewter.
it's so
Everything's
depressing.
made of like a Viking pewter
Yeah,
tank.
it's not real.
Yeah.
Lewis Chessman, made out of plastic. No, thank you.
Oh, we had a
Anyway.
moment. We had a moment at home when Buzz chipped one of my Lewis Chessman chess set.
What
Last week.
happened
He
then?
just dropped it. You know. What can you do? Kids drop stuff.
Yeah.
I'm over it.
That's good.
Have we
That's
heard
good.
from the outside world at all? I
Yes.
feel they've been very absent.
No,
today.
they're all over us. We've had a lot of people responding to your Brass in Pockets, Frank. Which what do we call it again? That it's you came up with something for it, but it's how would you describe it as?
I'm calling it. I don't know if it's sort of sing along a life. Things
Yes.
that where you have a song that fits something that you do in life. So that when I have Balsamic Glaze, as I know we all
Yeah.
do.
musical triggers, maybe or something.
Balsamic Glaze, like that. Paul Sylvester is our boss here at Absolute Radio. Texted me yesterday to say that he got up and his head was full of. Pussy said to the owl, Pussy said to the owl, Boom, Pussy said to the owl. Which is
Pussy
the,
said to the owl.
for new readers, that was my son's way of remembering part of the lyric of the owl and the pussycat, the part of the words, was by making it the back-in sound to Under Pressure.
Well,
all
Gareth
makes
was
sense.
here when you first revealed that.
Was
Yeah.
that? Oh, of course.
Because I'll never forget him saying, under pressure. Sounding genuinely very under pressure.
Yeah, exactly.
You have to with
I
that.
think of Gareth as a man who's under pressure at all times.
I would have liked his version of that song, though, just sounding very upset.
Well, as people are when they're under pressure. Anyway, we've heard
Quickly,
from...
so Pete Rawsthorne, when windows steam up in the car, I'm compelled to sing Steamy Windows.
Yes.
Are you
What's that?
familiar?
No, what is
Steamy
it?
windows.
Yes.
Activated by the body heat.
Oh, I don't know that.
Oh, Tina
Yeah.
Turner. Is it Tina Turner?
Or someone like that.
Didn't Steamy Windows do that? Lately I've been staring in the mirror. Wasn't that Steamy Windows?
I don't know that one.
No, he's
Ronan Quinn got in touch on Twitter. We're taking your tweets as well. Whenever someone in our household loses a glove, I like to sing, "You've lost that glove in Ealing."
Ah,
Literally,
very
you've lost
fine. Very
and
fine.
Colin Gage, every time I hear a phone ring, I sing, I'm in the phone booth, it's the one across the hall.
Now that is it's every time. What you want to do, Colin, is get a ringtone that's that song. Save yourself a lot of
What I
energy.
liked, Frank, is when I gave a rendition of that rather poor one, the producer started dancing.
I didn't think it was poo. I thought it was.
She loves that move.
I was all right with
The
it.
rhythm is going to get you.
Horrible.
That's what we say. That's what we say in the Catholic Church.
Frank Skinner,
Frank Skinner.
Absolute Radio.
So, Gareth, what's happening?
Oh, what's been happening in my life? Oh, it's all sorts going on.
That's not good enough. We need more details.
Okay. Well, we have a situation with a tree outside of our house. I don't know if you've ever experienced anything like this. Our next door neighbour, lovely lady, she's not a fan of the tree in our garden. It's a big tree, sheds leaves in the autumn.
Is she a lovely lady off air as well?
No.
Okay.
No, I mean, there's...
I like Frank's response to that. Okay.
No, well, I sense that. I mean, let's call her.
She might not be our next door neighbour. She could live anywhere in the street.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You were right to disguise her.
Well, you'll see in the story.
Yeah,
you'll see in the story. She's really she doesn't like this. But the council don't let you cut down nice big trees. It's a
I
nice
think
tree.
you've got the council mixed up with the Lorax.
No, it is the council.
No,
in
it's
Bournemouth.
definitely
They
the Lorax.
protect
Has
it.
the council got a massive moustache?
Yeah.
No, it's the Lorax, mate.
Oh,
Do you know, I couldn't believe how
embarrassing.
much it cost me to fell a tree.
really?
I'm not even going to say I'm ashamed.
Did you-
The money
did you-
I spent.
I have to say,
More than a bottle of wine or less than a bottle of wine?
About the same price as Frank spent on that bottle of wine for his manager.
£1,500.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Can I establish here that I really love trees in a slightly supernatural way, and I'm already slightly upset about this chopping down
Well, you're
trees.
It's awful.
You're an empath. You're probably a plant empath.
I'm Loraxian.
Yeah.
I have tree hugged. You know that tree hug thing? And I don't mean it in an
Yes.
ironic comedy way. I've done it in a real trying to absorb the energy
Felling
of the
can
tree.
be kind, though. It encourages it to grow. But anyway, it's like cutting
Yes.
the hair.
But
Carry
can
on.
I put everyone at ease? The tree's fine.
Oh, God.
And we're not allowed to touch... Honestly, the council in Bournemouth, because she's mentioned it before when my parents owned this very self-same house, and the council won't let you cut down certain trees.
No.
It's a big tree. It's, adds to the nature of the street.
Can I ask you a tree question? This has long been my thought about trees. If there were no trees and no one had ever seen a tree,
Yeah.
and I made a tree, I managed to get a tree
Lovely.
and put it in an art exhibition, wouldn't people think it was absolutely amazing?
They really would.
Okay, carry on.
Sadly, few people have made the tree.
Yes, but I'm just as an example.
I know.
We take them for granted a bit.
Yeah,
I agree.
that's right. But no, we
I want to know more about this horrible neighbour.
no, let's not. She's a nice lady.
Okay.
Is she a nice lady off air as well?
No. But yeah, she's got a long-running beef with the tree.
Wrong.
And
See how he said wrong there? Freudian slip.
And every time I come out, we have to kill her, talk to her.
What can I ask? What is her problem with the tree?
It drops leaves on her house.
Oh.
So moss is growing on her roof. She's frightened that the tree will fall on her house and destroy all her possessions.
Okay.
It's never fallen. Can I say the tree's never fallen down so far?
When you say
And also-
possessions,
yeah,
1980s copies of the Radio Times. I mean, come
No,
on.
but also you've in your characterisation of her, she's only concerned about possessions, not people or animals.
She's very Roald Dahl. I can see what she looks like already.
Well,
Farmer Boggis with the long, thin nail always in his nose. Yeah, something like that.
Clogging up a gutter. That tree.
Well,
she
that's
hates that.
annoying.
Yeah, she
That's
doesn't
annoying.
like, yeah.
What you need is, have you seen tree nets?
Tree nets.
At Cambridge, I was reading that Chris Packham is very upset that
Oh, yeah.
that in Cambridge they've put tree nets on the trees, which stops the leaves.
Is it like a big hairnet for a
It's
tree?
like a massive hairnet for a tree.
Ah.
Obviously, it's not great for the birds.
No. Well,
No.
they've also started
Cats.
to put pigeon spikes on the trees. Come
Yeah.
on, that's their natural habitat.
Yeah, but for some reason, people who love animals and birds and nature, of whom I have to say I'm not really one, they don't quite class pigeons. It's like how ageism hasn't quite made it as an ism the way many of the other popular modern isms have.
Yes,
They just
Yeah.
don't get any sympathy,
No,
pigeons.
you're right.
Well, they're not in danger of dying out, are they? That's the thing.
I
There's
think
loads
it's
of them.
the horrible clawed feet you get. You know when you get
Yeah.
one with a horrible clawed, twisted foot? People don't like that. It's a bit Long John Silver.
I think they suffer from ubiquity. the pigeon. They need to learn.
I think there's too many of them.
Yeah, well, look, this just goes to show how many different opinions there is about
Yeah.
pigeons.
Frank Skinner. Frank Skinner.
Absolute Radio.
Absolute Radio.
Can I just say I want to talk about Gareth's tree, but briefly from the outside world, Rich Ames has said, when the cold weather kicks in and it's time to stick the central heating back on, I loudly announce the occasion by singing to annoy my teenage daughters, "The heating's on," by Glenn Frey, the theme to Beverly Hills Cop.
See, I don't know that.
On the
not?
street.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm loving that people
The
do.
heat is on.
On.
I love that people are doing this. It's great.
Anyway, yes. So it was raining, and I came back from Boots. I'd been to Boots for quite a big Boots shop,
Okay,
and they've
don't
given me
go into detail.
they've given me a paper bag.
Paper bag, that won't work.
This is very John Betjeman. I like
to
it.
keep all the stuff in. And I'm walking. It's raining, and I walk into, and my next door neighbour is outside
The tree neighbour.
in the rain,
Yeah.
and she said, "I hate that tree."
Oh, no.
Oh.
And I we've been over this. So I go and I say, not her name,
No.
I say,
Quickly make one up.
Let's call her something.
Jemima. Should we call her Jemima?
No, that
What would you
sounds
like to
too
call her?
benign. I think of Jemima Puddle Dart.
Esmeralda?
Maud.
It's something short. Maud.
Maud. I say, Maud, we're not allowed to cut down the tree. We've talked to the council about it. We know it worries you, and I feel, and because our garden's a bit raised up, and so I was kind of over her, and I didn't feel right about that.
No.
So I went down onto
It's
her
like
level.
Pete. You know that Christmas with
know him.
Goofy?
Yeah.
Christmas with Goofy's got Pete. Pete is a very strange peripheral Disney character.
Right.
I
Pete
don't know
Guy
what...
says my worst character in
I
Disney.
don't kind of know. I'm not sure what animal he is even.
Oh, is he sort of like a cow?
He's
Does he look
No.
he's
does he
a
look like-
bullying, aggressive Disney character, and he's a horrible neighbour to Goofy. Goofy is a very amiable,
Yeah, he's very
stupid,
sweet.
Sort of
but amiable.
Not a looker, to be fair.
No,
Goofy.
no, I don't think you could call him that
Well-
now. If he came out in 2020,
I
you
like
could call him-
worse.
Well,
But anyway, Pete.
Definitely.
Pete sort of said he gets all the snow off his drive and puts it on Goofy's drive.
Oh.
It's that kind of relationship. Should we call her Pete?
yeah, Pete.
Is he quite, is he quite, what's the word? He's quite well built, Pete.
He's massive. Well, because he's a bully.
He's a bruiser.
What
He's
is
sort of-
Pete? 8, 12, 15.
What is
What is that weird Pete person from
He's not
Disney?
a dog, is he? And he's not a sort of bear, or I would say he fulfills the function of the Biff in Back to the Future character.
I've never seen Back to the Future.
What?
I've never seen it.
Well,
Never
let's
seen
put
stuff.
it on
Entire
now.
TV strands have been built around this sort of thing.
It's going to
Yeah,
blow
no.
your mind.
I don't know why I haven't seen it.
Well, Biff was apparently based on Donald Trump.
Oh.
There you go. Anyway, back to Maud.
Anyway, but if you do know what Pete is, has he got a more complete name? Is it something Pete? I've got a
Peter.
feeling it's something
What's the
Pete.
surname, the Goofy family?
I think Goofy is like Madonna. He's just got one name. I don't think he's like Neil Goofy. You know, it's not like an Italian surname. It's with a Y and all that.
Can I just share quickly, Gareth, a great music
Yes.
trigger from Tim Welsh? Instead of Rock the Casbah, lock the task bar. Lock the task bar.
That's good. I like that.
Okay.
That's very good. We'll end on that, and we'll
Sure.
come back to Pete in a minute.
Frank Skinner on
Absolute Radio.
This is the Frank Skinner Show on Absolute Radio.
I was a bit unsure.
Yeah, I forgot what it was called for a second. I'm with Emily Dean and I'm with Gareth Richards.
Good morning. And
Hold it.
yes,
We've got to text the show on 81215. Follow the show on Twitter and Instagram at Frank on the Radio, or email the show via the Absolute Radio website.
or you can tweet. And we've
I
had
think
some
I say that. Didn't
Did
I
you
say-
say?
didn't I say- didn't I add
Sorry,
tweet? I mean,
sorry.
whatever.
I'm sorry. I'd like to publicly apologise.
You
I'll
already
be
have.
Oh, good. With the switchboards are alight with talk of what was Pete. Goofy's friend, next door neighbour.
Well, no, he
not
was no friend.
No friend of Goofy.
I don't think he
I
had
mean-
a friend.
Frank, I also hated him.
Yeah,
Frank.
horrible. So hold on, come on, tell
Go
us.
on then.
Nowadays, there'd probably be some sort of spin-off made from Pete's point of view, showing what got him to where he was, the mental health issues.
I'd like to know a bit of Pete's backstory. Did he
Pete's,
ever name- did
I
he ever
think
name, like-
Pete, the origin story,
Yeah.
I would absolutely.
Can you imagine it being like Joker, becoming like winning an Oscar and stuff like that? And they do a real life action one like this.
Yeah.
Who would you cast as Pete?
Maybe John Goodman if he was a bit younger.
Is he
Yeah,
still, is he
be
still
good.
with? Can we just check? Is he
Yes,
still?
yeah, I think he is.
Okay.
I think
One
so.
has to be so careful.
Yeah, who'd be Pete?
Well-
Like James Corden.
I think he's going to steer clear of acting as any animals from now on.
Yeah, maybe. We don't even know if Pete was an animal, do we?
Well,
And actually, there's
Did he have a pre-name that was like Pete, like Tacos Pete or something like that?
by all accounts, it
Ross
seems.
Flatley.
This is Wikipedia. Am I allowed to read from Wikipedia?
No.
Okay.
No, we have had Outside
answer that.
World.
Yeah, we've had Outside World.
425 says, Frank, Pete is a bovine. He's
Is
a bull and often has his cows around him. That's why he doesn't like Goofy. No bovines like canines.
That's
Speak for
true.
yourself, Caroline.
They kick them to death, don't they? Sometimes cows kick dogs.
Not
to
on
death.
my watch.
Who they do?
That's why
I would-
you should never have a cow and a dog as a pet.
No. Wise
We-
words.
Best advice you've ever given me.
If you had a cow and a dog, would the dog smell meat from the cow and bite the cow?
My dog doesn't bite.
Well, would it be eating, wouldn't it? Wouldn't be biting as
Yes.
such.
Well, we've had some controversy.
Would it
haven't
be
we,
like
Gav?
having a big chewy bar, having a cow living in the house?
Well, I'm sorry to say this, Frank, but we ourselves are nothing but meat. So-
Take that back.
No, because he has that soul thing.
No, that's true. I know.
He likes.
I
He's the soul. He's a member of the
I
Soul
agree.
fan club.
But,
Anyway.
but do cows have souls?
Anyway,
Frank,
is there
the
any more?
cows have souls.
Cows
Frank.
are
No.
made into souls.
Yes, exactly.
Excuse me. Can I just say 122? Voice of controversy. Pete is a cat.
Yeah.
Although definitely looks more like a dog, he usually has a half-smoked cigar in his gob.
Well, I've got a sense, and having now he says that, I think there was a Mickey Mouse Club version of Alice in Wonderland where Pete was essentially the Cheshire Cat.
Oh.
What
This
about
is
that?
separate to the Disney Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah, this is
Right, a Mickey
you
Mouse.
know, the
Was it
Mickey
sort of-
Mouse come house,
Was
come
he-
inside, it's fun inside. You know that one? No.
So hang on, Pete was the equivalent of the perfume you buy on Oxford Street
I tell you
that
what, though.
says designer perfume Armaki or whatever.
Well,
He's
this-
a snide. Essentially, that's what
snide
you're saying.
Cheshire cat.
Yeah, snide Cheshire.
But if he's good, if he was the cat, I think they were all playing different parts in that
Yes.
thing.
They would keep it.
But the cat, it'd be good, wouldn't it, if he was the bullying neighbour to Goofy, but was actually a cat and Goofy's a dog. It would be a fabulous.
Right. Switcheroo.
Yeah, exactly.
Although
Well,
three.
in terms of as great switcheroos go in the movies.
Well, the fact that Mickey Mouse has got a pet dog is quite a switcheroo.
Yes, well, 310 adds to the argument saying, Frank, Google says Peter's a cat and Goofy isn't an animal. Goofy is simply a goof.
Wow, that's stupid.
That's the end of the
That's absolutely. What do you mean, a goof?
You know, I believe
I'm
this
sorry,
is mentioned
it's-
in Stand By Me, but what's Pluto if Goofy was a dog and not a goof, as is suggested?
Well, Pluto is an out-and-out dog. That is true. I mean, he works on all fours, and he doesn't speak. I don't think.
I'm
No.
just still
He's like a dog.
So
reeling from,
Goofy's
well,
some
that's
sort of
stupid.
non-creature.
No, come on. Whoever said that
Look,
is...
I think we've changed on things like that. But Goofy is, who he is, who he wants to be.
Yeah, Goofy can
I
be
think
whatever he wants.
Surely he's a dog. He's got like dog's ears.
Look, I don't want to be sidetracked by Goofy.
But I think Pete is a cat.
Let's establish Pete is a cat. Some are saying he's a bear. Some are saying he's a cow.
I'm glad we've sorted this out.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
Goofy's friend Pete is a cat, should we say?
Okay.
No, we've established he's a cat, dog, cow, bear hybrid.
No,
Right.
I think if he's a cat, he's a big cat. You
On
know
the
when you
road?
get you used to get those fat cats in the I don't mean fat cats like the ones that Jeremy Corbyn didn't like. I mean the ones like when you get a picture of someone's let their cat get really fat, and you used to get them in the paper.
Yeah.
Hated that. Anyway, what about the tree?
So my next door neighbour, who we're going to call Pete,
Yes.
is a lovely lady.
Yeah.
Bear
She
thing.
said, I hate that tree. And so I decided I'm going to get down on her level because I was raised up. I wasn't being aloof. But I went down. It's raining. I had my boots bag, paper full of stuff. And then I went and had a chat with her. And when I went down and talked to her,
How
you know,
small is she?
when she's smaller than me.
Were
but
you,
like-
were you in the tree?
No, I was like, our garden, it's raised up.
Oh, yeah.
So I didn't want to be
said that.
talking over her. So I went down and I said, Pete, we've talked to the
And
council.
he said, well, I know what's going on in your
Oh my
place.
God, this is complicating things somewhat.
Well, why don't well, you stupid goof. Yeah, go on.
And I had a chat with her, and she told me some things that were going on in her life, and I was like,
Arguments
Oh.
with Goofy.
you know, sometimes you just want someone to talk to, don't
Yeah.
you? And she understood what I said about the tree.
She should listen to Clint Eastwood's song from Paint Your Wagon.
Mm.
I talk to the trees, but they don't listen to me. Maybe that's why she doesn't like
I think she should listen to Clint Eastwood. Ask yourself, do you feel lucky, punk?
So, have you made peace with Pete?
Well, what happened was in the rain. This, I mean, the story
kinda
isn't moving
tough
as
just
quickly. This story isn't moving as quickly. There's some more to come.
Okay.
But basically, as I was talking to her, my boots bag, the structural integrity did not hold because of the rain.
I told you a paper bag wouldn't work.
The centre will not hold.
Yeah.
All of the boot stuff, it fell everywhere.
Oh, what?
And then, so I'm in the rain, and I'm like, oh, no, sorry, I've got to go in and take... And she said, oh, I'll help you. And I go, no, it's okay. Just load me up with it. And she goes, no, I'll help you. And I
the
this
old
is
Trojan.
nice.
No, that is nice.
It's nice.
The
It's a good
Trojans
job.
fell
What if
out.
you'd been on the old raised garden? It had fallen onto a roof and caused moss.
Well, Frank, I'm just worried about who was in the chemist, so
No,
let's
it's okay.
hold your high
it's okay.
horses.
We
Yeah.
got... I'd got some moisturiser for Laura, day and night cream.
Okay.
I was out of my depth with it.
Yeah.
Day and night, anyway, and only from Boots M. You know,
Okay.
got to keep
Yeah.
keep the budget. And so Pete helped me into the conservatory with all the stuff.
That's nice.
Really nice. We're
And then he
bonded.
got a baseball bat.
And I got upstairs,
Yeah.
and then when Laura got back, I realised
Some money had gone missing.
the night cream was nowhere to be seen.
Oh, what?
Pete's nicked the night cream.
That's how she's going to stop people climbing that tree.
Was it
No.
oil of?
What? She took the night
It was
cream?
nowhere to be seen, and I checked the receipt.
Oh my God! You know
And
what?
because
The
I thought
elderly,
maybe I just
the
didn't-
elderly love a night cream.
Maybe I just didn't get it. And
no.
and you know, I'm very assertive in my old age, and I was like, I'm going to talk to her about this.
Yeah.
I'm going to go down there, and I'm going to say, oh, I thought because you helped me carry stuff in, maybe you put it in your pockets, and
accidentally.
maybe
You weren't
accidentally you
gonna
did
say that.
I
Yeah,
see.
I did. So I went
My
downstairs.
skin has never felt better.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
So the night cream was missing. And I was like, I'm sure I got it. So as I say, I checked the receipt. And I even went outside and checked all along the path that
Good
Pete had
thinking.
walked in with, and
Yeah.
thought maybe we dropped it along the way. And I just couldn't find it anywhere. And I checked in the boot of the car, because sometimes things fall out. And so I decided I'm going to go, life is too short to be, worrying about. So I went downstairs to talk to Pete. I put my shoes on, and the night cream was just by the shoes down there on the way in.
Thank goodness.
So I did all of that
Yeah,
just in my head.
that
It just
is-
goes to show, doesn't it? I learned a valuable lesson
And
that
it just
day.
goes to show
Carol
the
from,
life dream of the casino soul scene. Yeah.
Carol from Yorkshire's a bit cross with us.
Okay.
I do apologise.
Right, what have we done?
Carol sounds like she could be a friend of Pete, the neighbour. I'm
yeah.
just saying I'm a bit scared of you, Carol. With love, Emily. She says, so is your girlfriend well now? I appreciate I'm giving her tone, but
Well, no, it's nice
what was the
that-
cause
yeah.
of her pain? We never got to find out, as there's so much waffle and giggling going on.
What?
Yes. Well,
Is that what she said?
Yeah.
Is that what Carol said?
Hey,
upset.
come on.
Well,
now.
Carol.
Look, but before you say anything, make sure the night cream isn't by your shoes.
Carol's from Yorkshire, and the thing about Yorkshire folk, they tell it like it is. You've got to
Well, they
respect
sometimes
that.
have it, yeah.
See all, hear all, say now.
Yeah, I do. I say it like it is me.
Anyway, Carol, thank you for your concern. Can I tell you that it turned out that that Kath had let me get this right, a disc bulge and some tearing of the disc. I don't know if I should be giving the exact, but anyway, she is walking around the house for short periods and then having to lie down again and then doing. But I would say she's on the mend. Thank you for your concern.
Yeah, we wouldn't want to stand between...
Albeit brusque.
Yeah, we wouldn't want to stand between Carol and finding out about an ailment.
Hey, come on, lay off Carol,
Look,
you.
Carol
loves
tells it
news of
like
an
it is.
illness.
She speaks as she finds.
Carol was actually expressing concern about
Exactly.
my partner, so
And, you know,
I'm with
Yes.
Carol.
Leave means leave. 802, thank you for changing the name to Pete, because my 13-year-old daughter Maud was quite put out that you were dissing Maud. That's
Yes.
Lorraine from Hornchurch.
Yes, her name was Maud on this show.
And lovely. And 033, I would love it. I would love that. If the next time Gareth spoke with his neighbour, he inadvertently called her Pete. Me too.
I hate the dreadful hollow beside the little wood. It's red-ribbed ledge. That's from Tennyson's poem Maud.
Lovely.
It includes, and I'm singing this. Just how old is Maud?
13.
There is there is a section of that poem which became a popular Victorian parlour song. Come into the garden, Maud,
No,
though
thanks.
the black bat night has flown. Just for you, Maud. There.
And somehow that didn't stay popular past the Victorian period.
Frank Skinner.
Absolute Radio.
I'm just going to... Sorry, Carol, but I am just going to pop up with this quick interjection. 972. Hello, I can't make kedgeree without singing kedgeree to the tune
I
of
can
tragedy.
Yes.
If anyone asks what's for dinner, I sing, Frank.
Kedgeree. I
Da-da-da-da-da.
don't know the next bit. I used to know the dance. Can you believe that? I got up at, I think it's Strawberry Moons in Chelmsford on New Year's Eve.
How
I
embarrassing.
think it was 2000.
You were a big fan of Steps, I seem to remember. Frank was always a Faye Tozer fan.
I liked.
Weren't
no,
you?
I know I've got. Oh yes, very. I love the. I bought 3 of those white dreads at auction.
You did like a Faye.
No,
You did like
I
Faye
did.
Tozer,
and I
didn't
finally
you?
got to meet Faye Tozer.
How was it?
Well, it went a bit wrong because I'd looked her up on Wikipedia. You know, not everything
Absolutely
on Wikipedia
disgusting.
is true.
Right.
And I said to her, "So Faye, I didn't know you're a trampolining champion." She said, "I'm not. I just don't know where that's come from." And she really, well, that was
a
the end
sore
of that.
spot.
I mean, who'd have thought that would be the turning point?
Were you a Claire or a Faye fan?
Can I say? Oh, go on.
I'm interested in Gareth's types in the.
No, I didn't. I wasn't into steps.
Oh, I liked H.
See, I liked.
Got it
yeah.
when the day came.
I tell
Who
you,
knew?
I'm glad you don't take it anymore. I am like that one they did, that sort of barn dance single that
Oh,
wasn't
the,
really
um,
regarded
5,
as one of
6,
their.
7,
Yeah,
8.
that was. I like that. Anyway,
Producer
Back at the-
dancing again.
is it over
Yeah, no,
now?
we're done.
Oh,
That's it.
Thank goodness for that. Can I
So I learned
say?
a lesson.
Can I say? Oh, go on.
No, that was it.
Okay. Tomorrow night is the last Doctor Who of the series.
Oh.
Yeah. And now I just want to run something by you. The current era, for those of you who are not into Doctor Who, is the
Oh, don't be silly.
so the last two series has featured Jodie Whittaker as the Doctor, who's it's the first female Doctor that we, as far as we know. There's
Yeah.
some complications with that. We won't go into it. Now, there was a thing that happened, I think it was on last week's episode, and you know that Bradley Walsh is one of the companions?
Mm-hmm.
And I can't remember exactly what he said, but a woman said something to him, and he said, I'm the normal guy who blah, blah. And there was a fluff. Now, you never hear fluffs in drama anymore. Because, I mean, in the Hartnell years, you heard little else. Poor old Billy was, well, if you, what we must, what we must, and it was, you could tell the whole cast are there going, come on, Bill.
Did you hear
Come on,
occasionally,
Bill.
so, Doctor, clink, clink, bottles underneath?
Anyway, I love Billy for all that.
Of course.
But
What was the fluff?
So the fluff was this. He says, I'm a normal, something like that. So now a big internet theory has
Right.
gone up that what he was about to say was, I'm the Doctor. And he stopped himself.
Right.
Because they just don't leave fluffs in anymore in drama. When's the last time you heard a fluff in a drama?
And the thing is, I love
Yeah.
a fluff in a drama.
But
So is it like a big controversy that?
Well,
all
it's-
on
I
the-
mean, when I
because
say
Doctor
big-
Who fans love the internet.
I mean big in, in a Doctor
Yes.
Who.
I mean, you say they don't
So
leave
you
fluffs
think
in
that-
anymore. I suppose the budget's gone up since the old
No,
days,
but
hasn't it?
I would
So
say-
what's the theory? Is
Well,
it that
my
he
theory is my theory.
Oh, the Fez has come.
that
We're
it-
going to have to go to the break. Never
That
mind.
it cannot be true. Because let me run this by you. We've had
Oh,
the
there it is,
first
the Fez.
the first female Doctor Who for 2 series, and then at the
Right.
end of it, oh no, it turns out the Doctor is that middle-aged white bloke. No,
Yeah, that wouldn't be.
No.
I don't think so.
Fascinating. Should we go to the break?
You.
Frank Skinner,
Frank Skinner.
Absolute Radio.
I got done for speeding on
Oh no.
Saturday
Awful
night on the way
flashed.
back from the wedding. I was flashed, yeah. That's why I was driving so quickly. No. I saw a flash of light, but I always think, oh, there's probably not any film, which I don't think applies anymore, surely.
Oh, you got the flash.
But I did 36 in a 30. Now, for me, that's not speeding.
Well, you're going to get it now, aren't you?
I'm not calling that speeding. 36 in a 30. It's
Yeah.
after midnight. I don't think speed limits actually
Excuse me.
apply after midnight, do they?
I've done the speed awareness course.
I know.
And I can provide you with a lot of information on it. Perhaps some of our listeners would love to hear it now.
Well, I was talking to a friend of mine last
Instead
night.
of the Doctor Who.
And she's done a speed awareness course and then got done for speeding again, and now she's been offered a dangerous driving course.
Oh, some sort
Yeah.
of Daniel Craig figure.
Yeah, it's so I don't know. I haven't been. There's been no mention of the speed awareness. I don't know
not?
what's. I just got the letter saying I was in a place called Hall HALLAND. Haaland. You were going through Haaland. at
Hall and
30.
Oates.
Right.
Well, it could be. No, I didn't stop. I looked it up. It's in
Wouldn't you
Sweden.
Sorry, Frank.
It's actually in Sweden.
If I lived in Holland, I
You
would
thinking of Holland?
definitely open a cafe, a breakfast-based cafe called Hall and Oates.
Yeah,
Come on.
that would
Get
be
it together,
right. I don't know,
people.
but it'd be one of those places. Locals will say, "Oh no, you don't say Holland, you say Hollande." Yeah, it'll be something like that. Yeah. It'd be one of those.
Pete's at the door, Frank.
Yeah, you say, hello, Holland. You go, no, not Holland.
I'm so, I don't know the way you're saying it now. It sounds like a theme park.
I was going to say a theme park that I know a few men that have frequented that.
Yeah. So, yes. When I looked it up, it honestly says it's in Sweden. So I don't know if there's been a confusion about kilometres and miles, and I am wrongly.
How fast were you going?
36 in 30.
Yeah, you won't have made it from Sweden at that speed.
Well, damn that sat nav. Anyway, it's been but I'm so glad we talked about Pete, because Pete is a character on Disney who you could watch Disney for years and he never quite he's like the stain where a character used to be, Pete. He's like Disney drew Pete and then robbed him out, and he hadn't got a very good robber. So he's a sort of ghost character. I think he's a character they experimented with. He failed, and they've just left him in. Maybe they're already done merch for Pete.
What if we do a character that
Pete
everyone
merch?
hates?
Who would buy Pete merchandise? What kind of a loser? Anyway... So, by the way, I'm going on. Did I tell you I'm going on tour again? Are you aware of that?
Stop laughing. Pete merchandise. I'm sorry.
Listen, I'm going on tour in April, May, back to on the road around Britain, and who will be my support act? On that
not
tour?
Pete.
Not Pete. Next guess.
Bradley Walsh.
No, he's too big. Gareth Richards is my support act.
Come on. Jingle.
So
Choose
we
a
will.
jingle, quickly.
Saturday morning.
There must be.
I'm definitely coming to
there
see
must
you. This
be-
is so exciting.
I'm just looking for a suitable.
very
You just keep
excited.
talking. I'll
Okay.
find you.
Did you know, when were you going to give me the reveal?
Well, I didn't think I was allowed to guess when we did the guessing. I think.
That's one possibility.
That's an example of music triggers, Frank. When I went out with someone who's appeared in EastEnders, if there was ever an argument brewing, I would do that, I'm afraid. I was going, do. This is so exciting. I will come and see you. Does that mean he's going to have to get into the old Saxon treasures, Frank?
What's this?
I'm afraid I do quite a lot of Anglo-Saxon sites, but you can always stay at the
I didn't
hotel.
mention this.
We can always drop you to services and pick you up later. It'll be fine.
Great.
When is this, please? When is the tour?
The tour is it's early April to mid-May.
Oh, come on.
Yeah.
All around the country?
All around the country, culminating in Birmingham at the Alexandra Theatre.
I'll come to that one.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me.
Gareth, thanks for coming
Yes.
today. It's always a joy. And, without you, we wouldn't have even got on to Pete. So
in a way, it's all turned out okay.
it has. It's turned out brilliantly. Thank you so much, and lovely to see you. And I'll see you on tour.
Yeah.
What about that? And thank you all for listening. And if the good Lord spares us, and the Greeks, they best stay out of it. The Greeks don't rise. I love the Greeks. Can I say that? Especially I like the black figure vases, but it's a different world. So if the Lord,
Oh my
dear,
God.
if
the weirdest you've ever been.
if it doesn't, I've got so excited about Pete. I'm post Pete in many
the
ways.
good Lord spares us.
And the creeks don't rise. We'll be back again this time next week. Oh, get out.